Hey everybody, Ryan here. Alright, I have another game review video for you. Alright, if you have not done so already, hit that subscribe button. Make sure to hit that like button as well because it helps the video get out there more. Alright, let's get started with the games from the 29th of April, 2021. First game, rematch of the Stanley Cup Finals that we will not see this year because they're in the same division this year. Dallas versus Tampa. Ooh, Dallas when they were so close to tying Nashville tonight. Not so much. 3-0 Tampa Bay victory. 14:41 into the first period, Andre Palat scores his 15th unassisted. Game-winning goal right there. They had two more. 8:27 into the third, Blake Coleman's 12th, shorthanded, unassisted. Then 18:39 of the third, Braden Point's 22nd from Andre Vasilevsky. That is a goalie point. Alright. Tampa outshot Dallas 28-20. Dallas destroyed them in the faceoff dot, 62-38. Dallas was 0 for 2 on the power play, Tampa 0 for 1. 4 penalty minutes to 2, 4 for Tampa. Hits were 33-30 in favor of Tampa. Blocks 16-8 in favor of Tampa. And giveaways 4-0, Tampa with 4. Ottinger made 25 saves for a 926 save percentage at loss. And Vasilevsky a 20 save shutout. Obviously for the victory. On to Buffalo versus Boston. Buffalo almost had a win here, and they would have been so close to Anaheim. Dang. Oh well. 5-2 Boston victory. Minute 16 into the first, David Pasternak's 19th from Patrice Bergeron and Brad Marchand. That 14:09 of the first, Casey Middlestat scores his 10th of the year. Did not realize he even had that close to a double-digit goal total. From R2 Roostalainen. Roostalainen, I believe is how they pronounced it. From Rasmus and also Rasmus Asplund. That 19:59 of the first. Dang, buzzer beater. David Krejci's 8th on the power play from Charlie McAvoy and Craig Smith. Then no scoring in the second. Minute 43 into the third. Buffalo ties it. Sam Reinhart's 23rd from Victor Olofsson and Jeff Skinner. Then Boston shows why they were in the playoffs and Buffalo's not. 7:58 into the third. Charlie Coyle's 6th unassisted. At 16:43 the third, Taylor Hall getting some revenge against his former team. I guess revenge. I don't know if it'd be revenge. I don't know. Does he have bad memories there? I don't even know. Taylor Hall 7th from David Krejci and Craig Smith. 18:26 into the third, Brad Marchand, the dagger in the heart. 27th goal of the year, shorthanded and unassisted. Make it 5-2. Boston with the much needed 2 points to keep ahead in that playoff race over the Rangers, who play tonight. Alright, Boston outshot Buffalo 40-31. Beat them in the faceoff dot 59-41. Buffalo 0 for 2 on the power play. Boston 1 for 2. 6 penalty minutes each. 30-24 were the hits in favor of Buffalo. And blocks were 9-7 in favor of Boston. Giveaways 10-8. Boston with 10. Luukkonen had 35 saves, 897 save percentage in the loss for Buffalo. And Rask had 29 saves, 935 save percentage for the victory. On to Philly versus New Jersey. New Jersey beats Philly, making their dreams of playoffs all the more small. 5-3 New Jersey, and I believe that puts them ahead of Anaheim again. Woohoo! Sorry, at this point I kind of hope my team gets the lower spots just because it gives them a better chance at number 1 overall. I'm not sure who they take though. Owen Power's the sounding like favorite, but they need offense. So I'm not sure what they're going to do. Alright, first period, 8-10 into the first. Yegor Sharangovich having a great year for New Jersey, especially a great second half. 13th goal of the year on the power play from Will Butcher and Damon Severson. At 15:20 of the first, Sharangovich scored his 14th, second goal of the game on the power play from Severson. I can't speak. And Yanni Kuokkanen, another guy who's had a silently good year. I believe they're both considered rookies, aren't they? Good solid years either way. Doesn't matter. Alright, 7:14 in the second. Scott Laughton's 8th, shorthanded and unassisted. Then 9 minutes into the second, Jesper Boqvist scores his 3rd from Nicholas Merkley and Mikhail Maltsev. At 12:17 of the second, Sean Couturier's 15th from Justin Braun and Jakub Voracek. At 13:15 of the third, Pavel Zacha's 13th from Butcher. At 15:53 of the third, Jesper Bratt's 6th of the year from Zacha and Ryan Murray. Making it 5-2 at that point. Game's pretty well out of hand at that point. But at 18:10, Travis Konechny gets his 10th of the year on the power play from Voracek, making it 5-3, your final score. There was one fight, 5:54 of the second, Connor Carrick versus Joel Farabee. That would be, actually, it seems like that might actually be an interesting fight. Farabee has shown fairly well in the fights I've seen. I could be mistaken, but he has not done bad. Alright, Philadelphia outshot New Jersey 24-19. Being pretty bad in the faceout dot too, 60-40. Power play is 1 for 2 for Philly, 2 for 4 for New Jersey. Opponent has 13-9, Philly with 13. Hits were 19-14 in favor of Philly. Blocks 15-12 in favor of New Jersey. Giveaways 13-6, New Jersey with 13. Lyon had 14 saves, 778 save percentage in the loss. And Blackwood 21 saves, 875 save percentage in the victory. Now on to that Rangers game I was talking about. Islanders versus the Rangers. Oof. Islanders have the Rangers number this year. I think the Rangers have won 1 or 2 out of the 6 now. Eek. 4-0 loss for the Rangers. Hurts their playoff hopes just that much more. 6:27 into first. Leo Komarov, first goal of the year. Yikes, that's pretty bad considering how much he's being paid. From Jordan Eberle and Nick Leddy, but I guess it's better late than never. 12:39 into the first, Oliver Wahlstrom's 10th on the power play from Brock Nelson and Josh Bailey. A minute 3 into the second, Anthony Beauvillier's 11th from Scott Mayfield and Brock Nelson. At 14:26, Matthew Barzell's 14th from Scott Mayfield. Make it 4-0, your final score. Shots on goal were 27-25 in favor of the Islanders. Islanders being pretty bad in the faceout dot, 64-36. Power play 1 for 2 for the Islanders, 0 for 2 for the Rangers. 6 penalty minutes each. Hits were 26-23 in favor of the Rangers. Blocks 17-12 in favor of the Islanders. Giveaways 12-5, Rangers with 12. Goalies Varlamov had 25 saves shutout for the victory. And Shesterkin 23 saves, 885 save percentage for a loss. Putting the Rangers' season in jeopardy at this point. At least playoff season in jeopardy, not their regular season. Pittsburgh versus Washington. Ooh, this one was a fun one. Pittsburgh 5-4 victory in overtime over the Capitals. 7:27 into the first, TJ Oshie's 18th on the power play from Justin Schultz and Nicholas Backstrom. 15:27 into the first, Kasperi Kapanen's 9th of the year unassisted, tying the game at the end of the first. 8:32 into the second, Frederick Gaudreau gets his 2nd goal of the year from Jason Zucker and Colton Sceviour. Sceviour? Yeah, Sceviour. Then, literally 30 seconds later, Dmitry Orlov's 8th from Nicholas Backstrom. At 15:07, the Capitals take the lead. Daniel Sprong's 11th from Schultz and Orlov. At 18:11, the Penguins tie it again. Zach Aston Reed's 9th from Sceviour. Then at 10:55 of the third, the Penguins take their first lead of the game. Kapanen's 10th from McCann and Carter. Carter has done alright since he came over to Pittsburgh. That's a pretty good pickup. Better than Palmieri with the Islanders. I think pretty much every other trade is better than that. Even Riley Nash, who hasn't even played a game for Toronto, probably is better than that at this point. 19:45 into the third, Tom Wilson's 12th from Evgeny Kuznetsov and Nicholas Backstrom. Then it took 2 minutes and 11 seconds for Jake Gensel to score his 22nd from Marino and McCann to win the game in overtime, giving Pittsburgh the 2 points, staying on top of their division. Capitals outshot the Penguins 37-35. Penguins beat them in the faceout dot 51-49. Power play is 0 for 3 for the Penguins, 1 for 3 for the Capitals. 6 penalty minutes each. Hits were 32-14 in favor of the Capitals. 14 blocks each, 9 giveaways each. Jerry had 33 saves, 892 save percentage for the victory. Vanacek, 30 saves, 857 save percentage in the loss. Detroit versus Carolina. Carolina with a 3-1 victory. No scoring in the first. 4:40 into the second. Brady Shea scores his third of the year from Sebastian Aho and Teuvo Teravainen. Is this his first game back? I feel like this is his first game in a while. He's been hurt most of the year, I know, but is this his first game back? If it is, good first game. If it isn't, let me know in the comments, because I've missed the last couple days worth of games. I'm sorry about that, but midterm had to take precedence. All right, 17:31 into the second. Jakub Vrana scores his 17th of the year. He has been really good since he came over to Detroit. That looks like a really good trade for them at this point, because Mantha has done well for Washington, and Vrana has done well for Detroit so far. All right, 9:40 into the third. Teravainen scores his third of the year from Aho and Svechnikov, making it 3-1, your final score. Shots on goal were 32-17 in favor of the Hurricanes. Faceoffs 51-49 in favor of Detroit. Power play 0 for 1 for Detroit, 0 for 3 for Carolina. Penalty minutes 6-2, 6 for Detroit. Hits were 24-20 in favor of Carolina. Blocks 17-7 in favor of Detroit. Giveaways 18-17, Detroit with 18. Bernier had 29 saves for a 906 save percentage. And Reimer 16 saves, 941 save percentage for the victory. On to the North Division matchup. Vancouver versus Toronto. There was a big deal on TSN about Lynn making his first NHL appearance for Vancouver tonight. It was a lackluster one, unfortunately, because Vancouver has really been hard-pressed to get goals of late. All right, 15:29 into the first. William Nylander's 16th from Alex Galchenyuk and John Tavares. I forgot to mention at 1 minute 54 seconds of the first, Wayne Simmons fought Alex Edler. What the hell was Edler thinking? Now, Grant, I had not seen this video, and I kind of don't want to because that is a serious mismatch. Simmons is a far more experienced and far better fighter than Edler could dream of at this point in his career. Why, Edler, would you take this fight? I hope you just held on for dear life and tackled the man, because you had no chance other than that. 51 seconds into the second, Austin Matthews scored his 36th from Mitch Marner and Joe Thornton. At 2:57 into the second, Pierre Engvall scores his 4th of the year from Rasmus Sandin and Jason Spezza. 15:36 into the second, Vancouver killed the shutout at least. JT Miller's 11th on the power play from Quinn Hughes and Bo Horvat. I feel like Quinn Hughes has really slowed down since the beginning of the season. He had a really good start to the year with the assists, and then it just kind of dissipated. 19:05 into the third, Marner's 18th from Alexander Kerfoot. Make it 4-1, Toronto with the victory. Toronto and who else clinched? Toronto, I know, clinched yesterday. Someone else did. Who was it? Oh, Florida clinched. So there were a couple of clinches yesterday. I don't think there were any tonight. All right. Toronto outshot Vancouver 24-16. Vancouver won the faceoff, 55-45. 1 for 2 on the power play for Vancouver. No power plays for Toronto. Penalty minutes were 9-5, 9 for Toronto. Hits were 19-18 in favor of Vancouver. Blocks 16-15 in favor of Toronto. Giveaways 17-16, 17 for Vancouver. Holtby made 20 saves for 833 save percentage in the loss. And Rittich, I believe that is his first win as a Toronto Maple Leaf. I could be incorrect, but I believe it is. 15 saves, 938 save percentage for the victory. Now, St. Louis versus Minnesota. Now, St. Louis winning or getting a point here affects, well, it doesn't eliminate anybody, truthfully, but it definitely makes it harder for a team like San Jose or Arizona to catch up to them at this point if they get a victory tonight. Minnesota's already clinched, so to them, whatever. And 5-4, St. Louis wins this one overtime, so much needed 2 points to help them, because this was a game in hand they had over the air too, so it was important they got points in this game. And they did. Alright, 3:14 into the first, Sammy Blais 7th, from Torrey Krug and Jaden Schwartz. At 7:34 of the third, Tyler Bozak would score his 4th, shorthanded. At 10:55 of the second, Marco Scandella makes a 3-0 lead, his third of the year, from Jordan Kyrou. One thing I'll give Minnesota credit for, you can never count them out in a game. 17:01 of the second, Joel Eriksson Ek scores his 17th from Marcus Foligno and Jordan Greenway. Oh, I forgot to mention, at 14:32 of the first, Bortuzzo fought Greenway. At 6:29 of the second, Bortuzzo got instigator and fought Foligno. Active game for Bortuzzo in the penalty minute area. Alright, in the third period. 2:21 to the third, Minnesota makes it a 3-2 game. Kevin Fiala's 18th from Victor Rask. Then, St. Louis makes it 4-2. Ryan O'Reilly's 21st on the power play from Perron and Krug. Then at 15:21, it's a 4-3 game. Victor Rask's 8th from Fiala and Soucy. At 19:08, less than a minute left, they tie the game at 4. Kirill Kaprizov's 23rd from Fiala and Spurgeon. It's going to be interesting to see what Kaprizov does in the playoffs, because that guy's been pretty dang clutch for them so far this year. In overtime, unfortunately it was not in overtime this time around, but 3:43 into overtime, Ryan O'Reilly scores his 22nd from Kyrou, making it a 7-point lead over San Jose and a 6-point lead over Arizona. Making it all the harder for them to catch up to them. Alright, Minnesota outshot St. Louis 30-21. Beat him in the faceoff dot as well, 52-48. St. Louis 1 for 2 on the power play. Minnesota 0 for 1. Penalty minutes were 22-14, 22 for St. Louis. Hits were 21-16 in favor of Minnesota. Blocks 19-9 in favor of St. Louis. Giveaways 8-7, St. Louis with 8. Husso had 26 saves for 867 save percentage and loss. And Cam Talbot 16 saves, 762 save percentage. I'm sorry, Husso had the win, and Talbot had the loss. I said that backwards. My apologies. On to Florida versus Chicago. Florida won this one 4-3 in overtime. Alright, 13:47 into the first. Adam Gaudet's 5th from Dylan Strome and Dominic Kubalik. Not as good a year so far this year for Kubalik than what he had last year. Alright, 7:47 into the second. Alex Wenberg's 13th on the power play from Mackenzie Weegar and Jonathan Huberdeau. Then at 10:09 in the second, Vinny Hinostroza's 3rd from Brandon Hagel and Kirby Dach. And at 13:09 of the second, Florida ties it again. Anthony Duclair's 8th from Brandon Montour and Grigory Denisenko. First point, I believe, for Denisenko. So if it is, congratulations to him. Alright, 9:09 to the third, Florida takes our first lead of the game. Montour's 7th from Wenberg and Marcus Nudivara. At 19:42 of the third, Chicago ties it with 18 seconds left. That's going to piss off a coach there. Alex DeBrincat's 24th from Patrick Kane and Wyatt Kalynuk. Then at 4:08 of overtime, Sam Bennett, who's been an offensive beast since he came over to Florida, his 9th from Mackenzie Weegar, making it 4-3. Florida with the 2 points. Chicago falling behind once again in their race for 4th place. I'd say at this point, getting closer and closer to being eliminated after having a great start to the year, unfortunately. Alright, Florida outshot Chicago 39-27. 50% each in the faceoff dot. 1 for 4 on the power play for Florida. 0 for 2 for Chicago. 8 penalty minutes to 4, 8 for Chicago. 40 hits to 36 in favor of Florida. Very physical game. Blocks were 13-11 in favor of Chicago. Giveaways 13 each. Spencer Knight, not a great second start, but not the worst either. 24 saves, 889 save percentage. Lankinen, 35 saves, 897 save percentage for the loss. I believe that makes Knight 2-0 on the year. So, even though it wasn't a great game for him, still got the win. That's all that matters. On to Calgary versus Edmonton. Calgary wins this one 3-1. Alright, 6:04 into the first. Elias Lindholm 16th from Matthew Tkachuk and Johnny Gaudreau. At 13:20 of the first, James Neal ties the game at that point. His 4th of the year from Chris Russell and Josh Archibald. Then at 7:07 of the second, Elias Lindholm will score his 2nd goal of the game, 17th of the year, from Rasmus Andersson and Matthew Tkachuk. That'd be your game-winning goal. At 12:08, they added an insurance marker, Dylan Dubé's 9th, from Milan Lucic and Rasmus Andersson. Edmonton outshot Calgary 31-30. Calgary beat them in the faceoff dot 52-48. 0 for 1 on the power play for Calgary, 0 for 3 for Edmonton. 8 penalty minutes to 4, 8 for Calgary. Hits were 35-19, heavily favoring Calgary. Blocks 19-15 in favor of Edmonton, and giveaways 16 each. Markstrom made 30 saves for 968 save percentage in the victory, and Mike Smith 27 saves, 900 save percentage in the loss. That's all the games for tonight. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button and make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already, and hit that notification bell next to it to be notified when I drop a new video. I plan on doing, hopefully on Saturday's going to be a busy day. There's like every single team in the league playing that day. But either Saturday or Sunday, I will have out my early mock draft of what I think the Seattle Kraken will get in the expansion draft. So keep an eye out for that to drop this weekend. Alright, other than that, I will see you all next video. Bye, everybody.